Today is July 1st, 2016. Yes, indeed. We are halfway. The solstice is behind us, the winter solstice, the summer solstice. Woo. I didn't come here looking for trouble. Jesse Williams talked about the so-called constructed. Okay, number one, 111. There is no such. It's a myth. Like so many things that you all believe in. Most of your holidays are rooted in myth and deception and tyranny. You Negroes go out and spend money on every single holiday. Jesse Williams came out with his Obama-looking self. Black women love white men, and there's nothing they love more than the baby that a white man makes. And I don't believe in the constructed myth of a white race or a black race because they continue to have babies. So how could they be different races? Different. So the constructed white male, nobody loves that construction more than the black woman. Nobody loves construction more than, but not to say excluding everybody. I believe in the moon. By believing in it, I believe that it's up there. It would be there regardless of. I believe in the sun. These things would be there regardless of the manipulation of man. When you talk about construction, I'm gonna let Dr. Umar. Not this one. We're gonna talk about this one.
Let me tell you why we have such differences of opinion in the black community when it comes to President Obama. And I'm not here to do.
Let's go back to rule number one. There's no such thing as black people.
And I'm not going to. But let me tell you why we have so much difference of opinion. It's because some of us in this audience are individualists. And others in this audience are nationalists. Let me tell you the difference. Some of you can care less what someone else does as long as it doesn't bother you and your children and your family and your life and your career. You're selfish. You're individuals. You don't care about nothing unless it bothers you. The selfish Negro syndrome. And then there's others of us like me. We are nationalists. Our opinions are based on what is in the best interest of most black people. I want to be clear about this.
All right. Once again, I'm going to assert by position that race is a construct. It doesn't exist. But then you have these people who will influence you about what is real. No, I'm not going to even go there. I'm going to let you listen to a little bit more of this.
You're either an individualist or you are a nationalist. And everyone in here has to make that decision for yourself. Am I going to be for my people or am I just going to be about myself? And one of the reasons that black folk are still in the condition that we are in now is because most of us operate on an individualist mindset. Now let's compare that individualist mindset of the Negro.
That is not true. That is not, and I'm going to discard this guy. I wanted him to say something about, this is something that I wanted him to say, but no. Black people do not think individually. They think collectively. Why do you think Nike Why do you think Nike makes billions of dollars? Because black women dress their self, their infants, their man. Everybody's got to have on Nike shoes. Everybody's got to vote for Hillary Clinton. Everybody's got to love Barack Obama. And if you don't, you're a coon. You got these mugs. There's nobody that uses the word nigger, coon, crispy, black more than black women. They love light skin. And I'm not mad at them. I have dark skin. Let's go on a little bit.
To the Jewish community, they operate as a collective unit. Do they disagree? Hell yeah. You got different types of European Jews. I know because I work with them. And they don't always get along. And they don't always see eye to eye. And they don't even interpret their religion in the same way. But guess what? When it comes to Jewish imperialism, and Jewish control, and Jewish domination, they put petty differences to the side. And they look out for the nationalistic agenda of what's in the best interests of all of them. The same thing with Europeans. Jews and Irish don't always get along. Anglo-Saxons think they're better than everybody else. Italians got their own arrogances about them. But when it comes to keeping black folk in Philadelphia in their place, they will come together and form like Voltron. The Arabs are the same way. The Pakistani and the Afghani do not like each other. The Iraqi and the Kuwaiti do not like each other. You see what's going on over there right now. They're about to go to war. But guess what? When it comes to the mutual progress of the Arabic peoples of the world, petty differences are put on the back burner until the collective nationalistic agenda is dealt with. For every group, they have a discipline that says the group comes before me. And if you try to put you before the group, they got ways for dealing.
So there's always a way of mixing lies and truth together. But they promote tribalism.
High school, but you live in Ohio. You got Central Yale, and the white folks who graduated from Harvard and Yale give them so. So in December of 2015, we'll be celebrating 150 years since the end of the whip and the chain. 150 years. What do we have to show for it, black people? 150 years later, where's your airplanes? Where's your submarines? Where's your supermarket? Where's your distribution?
So you don't throw everything out. You take the meat, you leave the bones. He says some very valid things. But I don't want to get off topic here. We'll revisit. I just want to talk about they create the creation of criminals in the constructed so-called black community. The so-called creating criminals. This is where we're going.
What up, everyone? It's your boy, Tommy Sotomayor. Want to address my homeboy who said, man, hurry up and get you a place and stop living in them hotels. I'm homeless. That's why I'm living in hotels. I know it's expensive, but hey, it is what it is. But before I go to that, I know you guys have been waiting and wanting to see the video of the IHOP fight. So I must give you guys the video of the IHOP fight. So if you take a look at this, again, this is the full complete video of the women who were fighting in IHOP. And if you missed my report on it, click the link in the description box. It's hilarious. Kind of biased. But again, these women are fighting in IHOP, and two of the women are fighting are sisters. The story is stupid. They're fighting another one of the employees, and it's insane. And the fight started on Friday, and it carried over to Saturday night. And two of the women have been arrested. Again, take a look at the video and enjoy.
Do you hear that baby crying? Do you hear the baby in the background that no one is paying attention to? This is what they grow up to be.
So this does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. How do I order a 20-piece chicken nugget? I order a 20-piece chicken nugget. I order a 20-piece chicken nugget. 20-piece chicken nugget. Not a 5-piece chicken nugget. Not a 2-piece chicken nugget. Not a 1, not a 10. A 20-piece chicken nugget. And I get one sauce. What am I going to do with one sauce? Baby! What am I going to do with one sauce? That's like going to freaking Red Lobster and saying, I want crab. And they give you one crab. I'm not paying $4,000 to $6,000 for one crab. Look. And then you expect me to pay all this money for just, no. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I do not play. I order 20-piece, so I should get a 20-piece sauce. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just transgressed time. Because there is, in the middle of all of this, how do people not cry? To hear the cries of a baby. To hear the cries of a baby and you are callous to it. It gets on your nerves. Nobody hates the black child more than the black woman. Because any normal person would take a child, an infant, a baby out of this situation. You would not keep the baby on your hip and continue to swing and to be swung and to be. There are people who will try to tell you who the enemy is. The flag is your enemy. The white people, the Syrian refugees, the Mexicans, or everybody. But every person needs to not believe me. But in my opinion, in my family, it's Jezebel is in my family. Look it up. I don't have time right now. Jezebel is in my family. Eve is in my family. But also Rebecca, there's everybody, every type of person. So the enemy, I've met the enemy. The enemy is us. We are the enemy. Because we believe everything that everybody says. And by we, I mean you.
Any of America's millionaire black folks. How do you explain it? But we can go to Harvard and Yale. We can go to Harvard and Yale. And the white folks who graduated from Harvard and Yale give them so much money, alumni donations by the tens of millions, so much so that the IRS had to force Harvard and Yale to liquidate their assets because they were richer than the government itself because of alumni contributions. Sean Puffy Combs went to Howard. What has he done for Howard lately? Oprah went to Tennessee State. What has she done for it lately? And not just those who went to HBCUs. LeBron never went to college. He went straight to the league from high school, but you live in Ohio. You got Central State in Ohio. You got Wilberforce in Ohio. Black colleges struggling hundreds of feet away from where you play ball every night. And you ain't got no check for them. But you don't mind running up and down the basketball court, making millions of dollars for white folk who can't even stand your ass.
Shut up.
And then some of you...
But that is the culture of the so-called constructed Negro. They want to be they want to be thrust into the spotlight. They want to be known and famous and consume and debaucher and adult and leave nothing for their children. Yeah, that's a construction. You don't get, it's voluntary servitude. I believe if there was a plantation, that Negroes was like jumping the fence to get over to get in there. Because you are a believer of the constructed who you are. Your history has been given to you, your sneakers, your Jordans, your Jesse Williams. Yeah, I gotta go on. But I'm gonna I can't help it.
Brothers, you want to be rappers. And by the way, we need to have a term limit on how old you got to be. Because the next time I run into a 40-year-old rookie rapper, I'm going to lock his ass up. Okay? You can't be trying to work on your first album at 40. That's how I work. Going ball, headline, receive, it ain't going to work. Okay? Got to put some limits on this. Now here's my thing with my rap brothers and my athlete brothers. And I know some of y'all play ball, head, Cheney, and everything like that. I need you to be clear about something. Most college and high school athletes will not go professional. Let me say it again. Let me make it more direct. Only 1% of high school athletes will ever make it into the NFL or the NBA. And only 1% of all the rappers in the hood will ever get signed to a major label and be able to live comfortably off of that deal.
So you can play football after high school. You just might not be able to do it in the NBA or the NFL. But if you just want to play football, if you want to make videos, hey, look, I'm making videos. I have views. I have people looking at. I mean, you don't have to sell your soul to be seen. You don't have to sell your soul or sacrifice your family members or your babies to achieve a little bit of fame. Oh, and by the way, stay out of corporate restaurants. This is an IHOP. And I don't care what you see on the commercials, but generally you're going to see this when you go into a constructed corporate restaurant. Go in there. But you won't, I guarantee you, you won't see me in there. I'll make videos about you dumb asses going in there. Listen to the baby. Black Lives Matters. Listen to the baby cry.
What am I saying? Stop trying to be a rapper? No. Stop trying to be a football player? No. Stop trying to be a basketball player? No. I'm saying, where is your plan B if your plan A fails? That's all I'm saying. And parents, I'm going to put it on y'all. Because some of you got your sons playing basketball and football and he failing the hell out of school. What is he doing on the team? You raising a career criminal, and then when you start selling crack, stealing cars, robbing pocketbooks, and he goes to jail, you won't blame him. Blame yourself. You raised him as a criminal. In fact, if I go in your houses now, how many of you got a dictionary in your house for your children? A thesaurus in your house for children? How many of you got a set of encyclopedia in your house? Computer. Because if I walk in your house and I don't see no bookshelf, I know this is a criminal incubator right now. I'm giving it to you.
Dr. Umar, we'll see you later. Criminal incubator here. Criminal incubator. The baby's crying. Can't you hear? Can you not hear the baby crying? You No one hates their children more than black women. No one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TNN, Raw and Uncut, where you get nothing but news.
Thank you very much, Tommy Sotomayor. I hate to rely on you, but I need you right now.
Delivered to you with no filter and no script by none other than Tommy Sotomayor. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to TNN News Raw. I'm your host, Mr. Tommy Sotomayor. Yes, I've been working my hours off, and here's another story about a BT 1000. As we all know, in the black community, getting your ass whooped is a normal thing. As a matter of fact, it's praised amongst black. It says, if you turn out to be a bad person, they say, well, if you had his ass whooped more. We're going to address that a little bit later. But right now, we have a story about a woman named Shaquana, Shaquana, Shaquana Spears, Shaquana. These black women are fucking terrible people, naming their kids this shit, just spelling it any kind of fucking way. Let's get back to that in a second. But this woman, a 30-year-old mother of 6 damn children, ranging from 13 to 2, has been arrested, and her 6 children has been taken away from her. Now, you may think it was something bad, but some of you think it was noble. What's the story? Yep. The mother had her children taken away from her because she was trying to discipline 2 or 3 of them because they had been caught robbing the neighbor's home. I want you guys to read this story or watch this story. Listen to this report. Hear me and then make up your own mind, because the world has been having their own opinions about this. So go ahead, roll that beautiful being footage.
A mom in Baton Rouge punished for punishing her children, out of jail and...
Now, one of the things, this is the reason why I brought this video in. Because one thing about the narcissists, they'll cry for no one but themselves. You beat the blood out of your children. The only thing you can talk about is all kinds of other shit. Except for that you were sorry and contrite about beating a child. That's the black woman, so-called constructed, mythological, legendary black mother, Mammie. Listen, don't believe me.
Out. And that's our top story. Welcome on this Wednesday. I'm Kylie Dixon in for John Pasrick. Shaquana Spears was arrested on Monday for whipping her 3 sons, ages 10, 12, and 13, reportedly causing them to bleed. Now she's giving her side of the story. News 2's Michael Vincenot joins us with more from Spears and reaction on this story that's quickly been gaining the attention of people from all over the country.
I want to start off by saying, whoever this woman is, this newscaster lady, is shaped like a rhombus. I'm hoping she's pregnant with like 9 children. Go on.
Good afternoon, Michael.
Kylie, we were there. Shaquana Spears was leaving jail last night. The emotional mother shared her side of the story. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. What in the fuck is that shit on your head? This bitch got on curly fries.
I left work, and in a process, I made it to my house probably in 3 minutes, and they were actually in there with the stolen items. And I just grabbed the belt off of the dresser and whooped them. Like, I called up many butt whippings for, not doing what I was told.
I want y'all to hear this. Hair Hat tell you that she had normally gotten her ass whooped for not doing what she was told. It worked so well that she became pregnant at 16. It worked so well that by the age of 28, she had 6 children. It worked so well that by the time she decided to pick a father, to pick a dick for her children, he became a jailbird. You'll hear about that a little bit later. Keep it playing.
And they landed me in jail with a criminal record. Right now, their dad is incarcerated. So that was my main thing. I have them in the best of schools. They're on the honor roll all throughout school. They're in magnet schools. And they're just being kids.
The constructed black woman sends her children to be educated. Jesse Williams doesn't talk about this. He talks about the mythological black woman, homogeneously portrayed as Omnipotent. Let's look at the word up, but I'm going to try to. I know this is a long video. The black woman is. Okay. Okay. That's the black woman. Almighty, all powerful. Look at her. That's them. Here comes the one single voice of reason. Take care of your baby, baby. Get the baby out of there. I mean, this video is almost 8 minutes long, and the baby has not been taken out.
Alright guys, as I said, the video is ridiculous because you have these women fighting, and one of the women holding the kid was the aunt of the other woman who was fighting, and they both were arrested. Now these women are going to get these children back, and I want you guys to go see the story of what happened and the reaction of the people around. So if you came here because you saw it, now you know how ridiculous it was as far as the fight, and how crazy it is that black women get together and fight like this over really nothing. But if you didn't see the report, go and look. See how these women look. Hear how ridiculous the women around them are. And just understand that this is why the black community is the way it is, because these are the type of women that are running the black community. These are your heads of the black community. Tommy Sotomayor. I'm out.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you very much, man. They are. Then you have the bed winches. Well, we gotta look at this. I'm sorry, man. This video is long.
A lot of women spend lots of time and hundreds of dollars on their hair, and even then, there's a chance that something could go wrong. Tonight in a 16 WAPT special report, we reveal the hidden dangers of hair weave. It's dyed, tied, or laid to the side, but is it natural? Some celebrities are coming clean, admitting they bought it. Women from Hollywood all the way to Jackson, Mississippi are adding weaves or extensions.
It adds glam. It adds that extra oomph.
I've never had a woman not love them.
It's the beauty. It's total enhancement.
I think they have changed my life.
Oh, enhancement. Listen to them. I am living in a parallel universe. I am not a part of this world. I am not. And these are not my queens. These are not my sisters. These are aliens. And I have them in my family.
Or extensions.
It adds glam. It adds that extra oomph.
I've never had a woman not love them.
It's the beauty. It's total enhancement.
I think they have changed my life and my hair.
Julie Skipper is a lawyer, and Latricia Brown works in healthcare. Both wear weaves or extensions, but they haven't had the same results.
It's a chance to play a little bit. My own hair is a different color than my extensions. And so every 6 or 8 months, if I feel like playing around, I can change color. And then it's not damaging my own hair.
Brown says she had to cut most of her hair after one treatment.
My sides was thinning, and with my hair, I had good hair, like it was full and thick. It was thinning out. Some parts were short and some parts was long.
And she's not the only one in her family who's had weave woes. These are pictures of damage to her sister's hair from years of wearing extensions.
Her hair is damaged, like, very bad. Like, is she to the point where she's embarrassed? Like, now she have no other choice but to wear weave in her hair because it's so damaged really bad.
Dr. Timothy Quinn sent us these pictures of his patients who have traction alopecia due to the stylist installing the hair extensions too tightly. Stylists we talk to say the danger comes in with how the extensions are installed, the treatment of the hair, and how they're removed.
Some situations we have to send to a physician. Yeah, they have to seek medical attention.
Shantae Lewis is a weaveologist, and she owns Celebrity Hair Designs. They specialize in bonding, sew-ins, and infusions. It can take several hours to put in and cost you up to $500.
The weaving techniques that we use are protective styles. We have products that will protect the hair from any invasive product.
That's Justin McPherson, and
we have product that will protect your hair from invasive. How about just not putting that shit in there? How about that shit? No, because your ass wouldn't have a job.
Owner of the William Wallace Salon. He specializes in bonded extensions that'll run you from $400 to $1,000. That'll have you in his chair for more than 4 hours.
There have been a few cases where you see someone who's had them braided in too tightly, or they've had the extension put too closely to the scalp, and that will cause like scalp irritation. It can cause
the constructed black woman, a white man, a white gay man, any kind of man can get anything they want from a black woman and get her to do anything. Like put that shit in their hair.
Hair loss.
The term is traction alopecia. And as I said earlier, it's a condition caused by the hair being pulled too tightly during the installation technique, where the actual follicles are damaged, and that person can have long-term hair loss.
The old saying, you get what you pay for, rings true with extensions too. There are tons of stylists in town that will put them in for almost nothing, and you always run the risk of not knowing what products they're using.
Experts say there's nothing to worry about if your stylist puts in and removes the extensions properly. Okay, so doctors say the hair loss may or may not be treatable. Contact your dermatologist for help.
Yeah, I told you, I would love to have long, extra hair like that. But I think what I learned from watching this is something that you should not take lightly.
Right.
And it's like Justin, the stylist, said, you definitely get what you pay for when it comes to these extensions.
That brings us to our non-scientific Insta poll. We asked, has your hair been damaged by weaves or extensions? And so far, wow, that switched up from 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Most of you say yes at 53%. Well, join the conversation at 601-980-4416. Hit 1 for yes and 2 for no. And you can also vote on our WAPT News app.
These are the people who are in Black Lives Matter in this video right here.
Hello, Your Black World. Shaquita Graham here of atechco.teachable.com. I have my great friend, Noma Langa Mashali Moses here from let me let you say it, Noma. SuccessfulBlackWoman.com, right?
Yeah, SuccessfulBlackWoman.com.
We've just been chatting this whole time.
Let's reiterate, there's no such thing as black people. These are the people who perpetuate that myth as much or more than anybody. Anybody. And they laugh when people are in distress. It's insane.
It's crazy what we're about to talk about. On The View, Whoopi Goldberg has some comments that she made about Jesse Williams' amazing speech, which I loved. I think Noma loved. It just kind of reminded me of a State of the Union address or something that a message to the grassroots like Malcolm X did. But anyway, we're going to listen to these comments by Whoopi Goldberg, and we're going to share our thoughts on this. Give me 1 second to share my screen here.
It's hard to bitch about this, though, when Usher finds Justin Bieber, who is a rapper, and says, hey, come and do this. And the reason why I think Justin Timberlake talks about one is because musicians are a whole different thing. And I think they're different because all of those years of music disappearing from different musicians. I think musicians saw that, and so now they're listening to the music. It's the one language in the world where you don't have to know what's being said. You get the groove. So I think that there's a lot of appropriation going back and forth. The weave, okay? The weave doesn't look like this. The weave kind of looks like this. It does? Yeah. A lot of weaves look like this. So I just feel like if you're going to talk about appropriating and what's cool and what's not cool, we're all...
No one is at the center of affirmative action, integration, appropriation more than the so-called black women. They have the wherewithal, the ability to rage, for their heads to explode, while they love their biracial babies.
Deep doo-doo because we're doing it to each other constantly. But I don't...
All right, that was enough. My head almost exploded just from that part. Noma, what did you...
What did she say?
But I don't...
All right, that was enough. My head almost exploded just from that part. Noma, what did you think?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. These are not my words. These are her words. What did she say just now? With her... Oh, and tell your children not to suck their thumb because they end up looking like this chick with the freaking pushed out teeth.
But I don't...
All right, that was enough. My head almost exploded just from that part. Noma, what did you think?
Okay, so here's what really, really puzzled me. I watched this whole episode of The View, at least the Hot Topics. I watch the Hot Topics almost every day. And this is what stood out to me, okay?
What did she say?
In Jesse Williams' speech.
They're crazy, man. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Oh, they pander to black women because nobody watches TV more than them.
Just from that part. Noma, what did you think?
Okay, so here's what really, really puzzled me. I watched this whole episode of The View, at least the Hot Topics.
They believe that they don't understand something that it makes it invalid. It puzzles them. They don't understand. It's invalid. Therefore invalid.
Topics almost every day. And this is what stood out to me, okay? In Jesse Williams' speech, he must have run down in that short speech at least 20 things that are affecting black people right now, okay? And one of the most...
No one
people think it's some kind of game out here.
No one pushes the myth of black people more than them.
Black people are being killed all over the world and have been for centuries, every day, all day, and it's being done without any punishment.
Nobody kills the black people more than them. See abortion. Nobody kills the black people more than them. But they will point the finger at everybody else and never at themselves. They are never culpable. Mea culpa, no comprende.
And when we have somebody like Jesse Williams who's bold enough to stand up there and say these kinds of things, black people need to be on code. That's right. We agree wholeheartedly. and some. We don't need another black person whose her own children and lineage are at risk. And like Jesse Williams said, your money is not going to insulate you like you think it is. Okay, so that's just like I said. That's the takeaway for me. I'm always going to be on code when it relates to white supremacy and standing against it. And I would never try to minimalize the issues related to lives being taken in the black community to some blonde hair weaves. That's not changing. That's not changing anything relating to white supremacy and white people and how they live.
That's just a slight symptom. That's just a slight symptom,
of white supremacy.
Right. It's a slight symptom of white supremacy, and I don't even know why she brought it up. That's what's so puzzling to me.
Yeah, I know.
But you said one thing that I thought was interesting.
It's so puzzling. You don't understand. Stupid.
Said that having a lot of money is not going to insulate anybody. But I have to question whether having a lot of money has changed Whoopi Goldberg's perspective on what being black is.
Whatever amount of money she hasn't spent any of it on hair weave like you. I don't know what that is you got in your hair, but I'm pretty sure it's not real. But, I hope I'm wrong.
Things. Because it seems like she's having one other experience, and other black people are having this whole other experience. So she seems to have gotten some kind of insulation.
Well, what I mean by that is the ultimate wrath of genocide means genocide of black people.
Absolutely.
That money is not going to stop her from being black. She might be the last one to go in the oven or whatever it's going to be if black people don't get it together, but her money is not going to stop that. And just like the differences that we see play out in music, those people have money, but at the same time, like Prince, Michael Jackson, they have money, but at the same time, white supremacy trumped all of that when it came to them taking that money and moving it to the next generation. Everything that Michael Jackson basically worked for now has reverted back into the hands of white people. And that's why it's so important not to generate all your money from white people. That's another takeaway.
Right. And another example that comes to my mind was the example of Serena Williams, the greatest tennis player of all time, arguably the greatest sports person of all time. And somebody who was a mediocre tennis player compared to her, Maria Sharapova, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, was making way more money than her. And
Serena Williams is a man.
Some white people. So what Jesse Williams was standing up for was right in line with the...
Jesse Williams is who he is. But you know what? While you all are so wrapped around white and black, his mother is white. So, and his father's black. They would never mention his father. They mentioned Jesse, the product of that relationship, which nobody reveres the biracial male more than the so-called constructed black woman. No one. See Barack Obama. CND. I'm going to end this video.
Or the award he received, the humanitarian award, because I question the humanity of anybody, a prosecutor, anybody on a jury pool that feels like it is okay for somebody to kill Tamir Rice, Freddie Gray, and all of these people.
Tamir Rice was walking down, little motherfucker was walking down the street with a replica gun. Who gave him that? Does he have a job? Does he have like a bank account? Who bought that for him? Who bought a fucking toy gun? I would never walk down the street with a toy gun. Pink, blue, bubblegum red, cherry red, sky blue, no color gun would I ever put in my hand, real or replicated. Would I do that and expect to live? These mothers, these chicks, man, I can't stand them.
And then at the same time, I was here in Atlanta when you had a ton of white people picketing about some puppies and some dogs that Michael Vick supposedly, allegedly with his family or friends or something had abused. If I kill a puppy right now, 1 billion white people will come to my door. So don't really come for me with the whole thing about, oh, Shaquita is being racist because she's talking about how white people ignore the humanity of black
white people, black people, white people, black people, white people, black. That's all they talk about. They have accepted and drilled in the myth of the existence of the construct. When they exhibit the malady of the acceptance of racism, oh my goodness gracious.
Because as a human being, that's only right for me to do.
Absolutely, and let's not forget about our more recent example of the gorilla, who everybody cried about losing its life, and not thinking about the fact that there's no outrage like that when actual human beings, black and brown human beings, lose their lives. There's no outrage, and that's really
I didn't hear nobody mention those 4 alligators that got killed for eating that 2-year-old boy. You know, and I know that, you know, there's been a history of white supremacists love alligators and they love little kids, little black kids being eaten by alligators. That's something that was a practice of theirs. So maybe they're afraid to say something about the alligators. But, you know, that whole gorilla thing, oh, it's a big deal because a gorilla got killed. I'm done.
I'm also all set with it now.
So thank you guys for viewing. We are going to continue having these kind of lively conversations on a new platform.
They are so fucking whatever they are. Where there's 1, there's no fun. Where there's 2, you better run. And where there's 3,
What up, everyone? It's your boy Tommy Sotomayor. Want to
where there is more than 3, I will not be. Good night. Good night. Good night. Get the baby out of there. Get the baby out of there. Good night.